Good afternoon. Today is January March 3rd or 13th, is it? It's about 10 minutes to 6 in the afternoon, and this is the Streets and Sidewalks Committee. To my right is Councilman Brock Heath, and to my left is Councilman William Lutz, and I'm Bob Phillips, the chairman. And we're here today to talk about the Phase 4 of the McCaig Road Improvement Project and looking for authorization for staff to put that out to bid. And is Ms. Rhodes or Mr. Titterington who's going to present the staff report?
I can give you the overview and she can fill in the technical whiz-bang stuff.
Sally Forth and Shirley, you just.
Sally Forth. So we are asking for authorization to advertise for bids and to get into a contract. This is McCaig Road Improvement Project. This is Phase 4 from Lake Street through the intersection of Dorset Road, approximately to the I-75 bridge, at a cost not to exceed $1,875,000. In your report, you see what our estimated breakdown is based on the design work that's been completed. There are 4 funds that are involved and impacted. OPWC 442, stormwater, water, and sewer funds. The current estimate varies from the original budget estimate after the engineer got into the detailed design work. We have less water and sewer and more roadway and stormwater than was originally anticipated. However, the total estimate of 1.875 is below the overall budget that was approved by City Council in those funds in the aggregate, which was $2 million. We are not requesting emergency legislation. This does include the detailed design work that was done on a roundabout at the intersection of McCaig and Dorset.
And that is the same information that we've had the public comment periods or public comment information meetings that we've had on that. We had at least 2 of those, didn't we? 2, yes?
There was one general, all property owner plus council was there, public information. There was also a smaller meeting of the property owners that were right around the intersection.
And at this point, all of the property and stakeholders are happy with the outcomes that we've talked to them about?
Happy being a relative term.
Sure.
We have continued to talk to them and make modifications to the design to accommodate ingress and egress to their properties, do some design enhancements to their parking lots, to their entrances, to their signage in front of the building. We haven't finalized all of that with them. It's a kind of a work in progress, but we have continued to have conversations with them and get their input. And our engineer is making those changes to benefit them.
And all of the right-of-way easement areas, that is all that we're operating within. We're not having to take or eminent domain on any other additional property into any property.
We don't anticipate that at all.
Right.
There is some right-of-way that, we are in the process of doing trade-offs for the improvements that we're making to accommodate the intersection. That's part of what we continue to talk about, but we don't anticipate any kind of legal taking actions at this point.
And the improvements to the property, which I'll call particularly the McCaig-Dorset intersection, the improvement to that area in this entire phase, that will greatly enhance that area. And the property owners in total, are they having to have out-of-pocket expenses?
No, we won't have any assessments There will be no reimbursements expected by the property owners. That's true not only at the intersection, but also along the entire Phase 4. There'll be new curb, there'll be new sidewalk, there'll be new driveway approaches, whether it's at the intersection or from, basically from Lake all the way west.
And sight lines near Troy Christian High School to that entrance, that is all met ODOT road criteria, design criteria, site distances, and that sort of thing. What did we finally do there? Did we make that a right turn only coming out of the school? What was the final?
Are you talking about on McCaig?
On McCaig itself, yes.
West of the intersection. That is a right turn only out. We will have a raised median there, as well as an extended left turn in when you're traveling west.
Okay, all right, excellent. I think that's all I have at the moment. Either of you gentlemen have any questions, comments?
I don't have a question, but a comment. I really appreciate the effort that was made by the city staff to get the word out about this project. I have received a lot of questions about it, but the more that I can refer folks back to the city website with the information and the presentation that was given, that has really gone a long way to kind of allay fears that residents have had. It's really clear that this project is going to be a win for the property owners, it's going to be a win for the city, it's going to be a win for the traveling public, so I'm very excited to see this move forward.
Yeah, along those similar lines, when I was working at the bank there, I went through that intersection in rush hour morning and evening, and I'm excited to see this happen. It needed something for a long time, and I think this is a great option. I know there's been a lot of detailed work going into trying to figure out what's best there, and this is it. I'm ready to move forward with it.
An additional question off of a comment that was made at one of the information meetings regarding signage for large 18-wheelers or delivery trucks and that sort of thing that were going to Honda or using that intersection. Excuse me. Any additional signage that we're going to put on the highway or somewhere, try to direct traffic away from that area? Is there?
There's really nothing that you can specifically do. I think the semis are going to self-select, and they're going to know where to go and where not to. There are some internal deliveries that are made between the storage area and a couple of the facilities over there. I'm not sure that we've reached out to them yet, but certainly we're going to do that to let them know what to anticipate. We really can't prevent them from going there, and the design of the roundabout as well as the road itself can't accommodate semis. And frankly, if there is some kind of closure at one of the I-75 ramps, they're likely to use Dorset to get from one to the other.
Certainly, yes.
And it'll be able to accommodate.
Yes, yeah. For those that may not have been able to pick that up on the microphone, Mrs. Rhodes, our city engineer, has indicated that the road is built to accommodate the sized vehicles that would be coming through there. And I will say, along with your comments, Mr. Lutz, that I just happened to be on a bus trip this last week, and this was a topic of conversation on the bus. And it was amazing to me the information that we did and have put out on this and other projects in the past, and folks just don't pay attention to what is on our city website. They don't pay attention, or they don't subscribe to the Troy Daily News or any other media outlets that talk about the items that we have in our city that go on, and it's really unfortunate. But once it was addressed on the bus, everybody was happy with it. I was amazed at that. But it's too bad that people don't take a little bit more time to get involved with our city government and find out what's going on in the city. That's just a comment. It doesn't need any other.
Well, and just to piggyback on that, we have started to do some education on social media and on our website. And once this is approved and goes out to bid, then we're going to do more of that, because there are educational videos out there, because we know that roundabouts they're not very common, or as common as they are in other places, even though we have one of the most iconic roundabouts, if you will, in the Miami Valley. And so we're going to continue and increase our concerted effort to do education, because people being busy and distracted with other things, they often need to hear it more than once.
Yeah, I agree, and roundabouts are just becoming so common across the country, and I've driven across our nation here almost a dozen times in the last 10 years, and it's just amazing how they're proliferating, and they actually work, and they're great. So I'm a very good proponent, a big proponent of them. Mr. Terwilliger, do you have any questions, comments?
No, sir.
Anyone else in the audience have any questions, comments? I appreciate that. So gentlemen, what is your pleasure on this item?
I would like to move forward.
I concur.
So it's unanimous with the Street Sidewalks Committee that we move forward as staff is recommending with this project. Are there any other items to come before the Streets and Sidewalks Committee?
No, sir.
No.
Then we are adjourned, and thank you all for